Hey guys, TJ Watson here. Figured I'd just share a few tips for some of y'all who are probably about to buy your first harmonica. And even some tips, maybe you've already bought some harmonicas and you're looking to get that second set or kind of level up to the next thing. I learned a lot through YouTube and videos and through word of mouth, and so I just kind of want to share some of what I've learned with some of y'all. So, of course, the first thing when you're buying a harmonica is probably going to be price, and depending on what you're using it for. If this is your very first one, you might not want to spend too much money, so you might look into something in a cheaper price range. And the main thing with that is that if you go too cheap, it'll almost sound like a toy. The best entry-level thing that I know of is the Hohner Blues Band harmonicas. They're not overpriced, but they actually, for the most part, are quite playable. And yeah, so that's your blues bands. And of course, if you go up into a higher price range, you're going to get a higher quality. And so then you might end up, I think a good price for a decent quality harmonica right now is around $45 US. And it goes up from there, of course. A lot of what you can tell right off the bat with any brand from the quality is where it's made. So harmonica was an instrument that originated in Germany. So most of the highest quality harmonicas are still made in Germany. There's some boutique makers in the US. I don't know of many in the US actually, so if you know of some good ones, let me know about it. And of course the cheaper ones you'll usually see are made in China, but some of them are still good enough to get you started. Good enough to kind of learn the fundamentals and then level up from there. Something else to consider when you're picking out harmonicas is durability, which the main thing to focus on with that is what's called the comb, which is the middle part of the harmonica. They're typically made out of either wood or plastic. And I actually prefer the plastic because it's more waterproof, obviously, because wood will swell. And you can't wash it quite as well. You have to take it apart. And the plastic ones you can just rinse under water and let them soak and all sorts of stuff, and it's fine. And so starting out, I would definitely recommend getting a plastic comb. And that's still what I play pretty much all the time, unless I just want the tone of a wooden comb. One of the main things about going forward as a harmonica player and getting started at all is, I don't know a good word for it, so I'll just say breathability. So how easy is it to make sound on this instrument? A cheaper harmonica, typically you have to use a lot more air to make noise. And the higher up you go in quality, the lighter you have to breathe to actually make the sound, and so you can actually breathe a lot easier and you can make a lot more sound a lot quicker. So to demonstrate this, I will show you this very cheap harmonica, which is the first one that I ever owned. It's not even a brand of harmonica. It takes a lot of air pushed into it for you to make a sound. So it's out of tune, but so you can kind of hear like a sound before you even hear the notes, if you can hear that good. But then something like a more high quality instrument, you barely have to put any thought into it and it's already going to make the note. And so, yeah, just the more that you invest and the better quality you get, the more likely you're going to stick with it. That's pretty consistent with any instrument. The better quality of an instrument you get, the more likely you're actually going to be able to make a good enough sound to enjoy it, and therefore progress, and then keep moving from there. Another thing, very simply, to think about when buying a harmonica is what key are you going to get? So, typically, the cheaper harmonicas come in the key of C, and that's where you can play the kind of simpler stuff, you know, like the... And every key you have to have a different harmonica, because that's how it works. So the keys that I would recommend buying as a harmonica player that's starting to really get into it: an A harmonica, C harmonica, D harmonica, F harmonica, and a G harmonica. And those will cover pretty much any standard song that you want to play that isn't like jazz or something obscure or half tuned down. And once you get into that, you can get more and you can look into it, but those are the basic keys that you can pretty much get anything on. I think they've actually make a lot of packs that pretty much have that same setup or something very similar to it. I would recommend getting one of those. It's a really popular one for, I think, Marine Band has one, if you want a wooden comb. And you can just look into it. There's all sorts of different kinds. Well, there you go. There's a short little blurb about what kinds of harmonicas you might want to get. I hope that I helped you a little bit. My name is TJ Watson. And if you liked what you heard, make sure to like my page and subscribe to it. And of course, if you have any questions, be sure to leave them down in the comments, and I might make some more videos about it. So let me know. Thank you. I also got some new merch, so if you'd like to give me some support, check out tjwatsonmusic.com.